Sorry, I was beginning to give a tobacco review and my wife interrupted me. So it's fine. That's the little things in life that make it special.
Are you calling me one of the little things in
Right.
life?
I'm gonna no the interruptions. Not, you're not a little thing. Um, I hope I don't need to say more. I hope you people, pipe smoking people, know what this is. If you don't, you better go learn yourself. Um, this is Semois from the Ardennes Valley, where the Battle of the Bulge took place in World War II, near the Meuse River. Um, I guess what is special about this burley tobacco is the way that it's the climate, it's the soil, like with any tobacco, and it's the mist. I also happen to think that maybe it's all the ghosts from the Battle of the Bulge that inhabit the tobacco leaves as they grow. Maybe that's just crazy. Um, but the tobacco is a really it has a cigar leaf taste, but it really tastes of Europe and not of the Caribbean. I guess that's the only way I can articulate. You know that yes, there are notes of cigar leaf, but that it's just European. And I was always looking for a great European tobacco, but you know, Western European tobacco, and there really is, you know, this is the deal. This is the king. Um, but I blend this with full Virginia flake, and that I think. I mean, there's many things you can do. I've been doing a lot of experimenting with making English blends with this, and blending it with Sandgowith chocolate flake. I mean, you know, any kind of smoky or chocolatey or dark fired, it's going to bring out all of those notes if you know what you're doing. And I'm not saying that I do, but it just it's very, of course, it's very dry, and you know, I know some people say that it will get really moldy if you try to rehydrate it. I mean, you know, what I like to do is when you pair it with something like full Virginia flake, the moisture of the flake, if you have it sit in a humidor or a little tobacco jar, if you have it sit with it for like a day, it starts to kind of marry, and the moisture kind of evenly distributes from the flake to the Semois, which kind of just sucks it up like a sponge. So I would suggest mixing this with FVF, or even medium Virginia flake with a hint of Turkish. That's kind of my little cigarette, you know, faux Marlboro, faux Camel blend that I have right now. My little summertime, you know, cigarette blend that I'm mildly obsessed with at the moment. So, you know, this thing blends really well with many things. You can also just smoke it on its own. I mean, of course, it's very dry, but I would suggest this with 40 to 50% um, F full Virginia flake, and that's just eyeballing it. Not I don't really weigh out my blending. I just kind of eyeball it, and I just kind of use the force. And I think that that's your best entree to this absolutely gorgeous and supreme artisanal tobacco. I mean, there's few tobaccos that are made with this kind of love and this kind of you know, tradition, and you know, it's not too strong. I mean, it really that's the thing I noticed the most. The first thing I noticed was um, you know, how this tobacco really has the warmest, you know, it has such a good, not nauseous, not, you know, like when it's the polar opposite of that horrible nauseous, way too much, the too high nicotine content. This is the smoothest, most relaxing, you know, anti-stress, it's just like therapeutic. I really believe that this, you know, I'm sure people think this is controversial, but this is an example of how tobaccos can be like therapeutic. You know, this stuff, it's borderline spiritual. All right. So, you know, why don't you guys get yourself a little bit of green, and then, you know, let me know what you think.